Welcome to the questions and responses for foods that heal and foods that don't. Question 1 from Belinda K4954. My thyroid was removed because it was 10 times the normal size. Now I'm told I must take levothyroxine every day for life. I lost 40 pounds naturally before the surgery. My appetite shot up through the roof. After surgery, it became uncontrollable. I gained 60 pounds. What foods can I eat to replace the meds? Biggest thing is the thyroid doesn't just produce a T4, which is levothyroxine, kind of. Okay, it produces a lot of different things, T1, T2, T3. Okay, and so when you're looking at this with that thyroid removed, the only thing is going to be a supplement of Armour thyroid or nature's thyroid, which is just ground up pig thyroid. Also, get iodine as well. Even though you don't have your thyroid, you're also exposed to a huge amount of things that are similar in structure to iodine, like halides. And those are going to be chlorine and fluoride and bromine. So, make sure that you're still getting that supplement. Look at seaweed, which is going to be high in minerals, but make sure it's from a safe environment, not China or Japan. And it's tough because when that thing swells up, when the thyroid swells up, it means that either you got exposed to a bunch of halides, either fluoride, chlorine, or bromine, or you're deficient in iodine. So they used to call around the Great Lakes the goiter belt because they used salt that wasn't sea salt. So, and also with the thyroid changed, your adrenals are going to be taxed more than regular. Just like you have the automatic nervous system. One part keeps you alive under stress, the other part regenerates tissue. So when you're in a stress state, you've got the adrenals and the thyroid. Right now, your thyroid is going to be suppressed, and your adrenals have to take up that work. So look at changing your sleep patterns, like your physical, chemical, and emotional stress load. That's going to de-stress out the load that's already excessively put on the adrenal glands. And then look at healthy fats. Your diet should be the same as your great-great-grandparents, so as organic as possible, as free from preservatives as possible. Build your gut flora because your gut produces a huge amount of vitamins, and move your body every day. And by changing the sleep patterns, because I know that there's a lot of stressors and your sleep more than likely is not good, I doubt if you're waking up refreshed, get up to 2 to 3 healthy bowel movements a day. So a little bit of fiber with each meal will help a lot. And then you're going to start to see your weight regulated. God bless you. Yeah, that's a tough one. Question 2 from Ron Westerbeek. How diluted is the iodine concoction you use, sir? 20 drops is a lot, isn't it? It's actually not diluted at all. I use Ancient Purities, which is 8,000 times the RDA. So, it's like water. Water is really good for you, but if you drink 5 gallons, you're going to die. Okay, iodine, I encourage you to read Dr. Brownstein's work. Okay, and it is amazing. I don't sit there and count 20 drops. I just do 2 droppers full, maybe 3, depending on if the bottle's getting lower, and just down it in the day because I'm very, very active. I'm working minimum, a low day would be 10 hours. A normal day is 12 to 14 hours. So that, I need that type of energy or utilization of a healthy metabolic process by giving my thyroid the raw materials to build itself. So that's huge. And a similar question from Diane Kinderick, 8476. Hi, Dr. B. This is Daniel Carey here. You currently have me taking 3 drops of Lugol's iodine, but I heard you mention 20 drops of Ancient Purities. Any difference? Also, when I go swimming for exercise, I take an additional dose of iodine prior. Do you have recommendations on what else to fortify yourself when swimming in a chlorinated pool? Please, thank you, and God bless you. God bless you too, my dear. When any expert recommends a dosage, like you need 500 milligrams of this or 300 international units of this, they're pulling that recommendation out of the air. because even if somebody takes, and no human being has been ever taking the exact same nutrients every day, their entire life from morning dawn to dusk. That's not how human beings are designed. If you sleep good, your metabolism or breaking down and utilization of the nutrients is going to be a heck of a lot better than if you slept poor. So the same person taking the same dosage isn't. Taking 3 drops of iodine, I would not recommend. Okay, now, one of my other doctors may have, but that's very, very little. And we use that Ancient Purities. That's what we have at our office. But when you're looking at this, experiment around and listen to the doctor within. You can start with 3 drops. You can work up to as many drops as you want. Obviously you can. You're not going to overdose, but there is a toxic level of even water. So experiment around and listen to that doctor within. You may want to go from 3 drops to 10 drops and back down to 8 or up to 20, down to 15. Okay, so experiment around and see how you function. And that's the best, because based on what your nutrients are in that level, based along your physical, chemical, or emotional stress, based on your adrenals and thyroid, your autonomic nervous system function, day to day, your utilization of those nutrients is going to be different. So this is why you can't do things on a schedule. You have to listen to that doctor within and see how your body's responding. It's how human beings are designed. And just think of that. If somebody is suffering from a nutrient deficiency, such as scurvy, and like in the old days, that was very, very common on ships. And if the ship went down and all of a sudden the people were on the lifeboat starving, the scurvy symptoms would start to resolve. So nutrient deficiency was fixed with low nutrients. See, eventually the science is going to look that your body is a sea of metabolic processes, that your body is going to be elevating and suppressing certain functions. Your response to environmental stimulus. Some people will call it the immune system, your growth of muscle tissue, your growth of brain cells, your angiogenesis, your growth of blood vessels. All of these processes, 1 billion cells a day, are occurring in your system. And based on your physical, chemical, emotional stress, your nutrient sufficiency or deficiency, your movement sufficiency or deficiency, your resting deficiency or sufficiency, your body is going to utilize different nutrients every day. So experiment around. What I recommend with everyone is do 5 to 10 drops, increase, to see how your body is responding to it, scale back to what you think is appropriate, and listening to that doctor within is the greatest. And God bless you folks too. Question 3 from the shop 4643. Gastric bypass. I'm starving for nutrition. Where can I get help? Honestly, if you got the lap band or something that can be reversed, beautiful. But there is a risk of surgery, even going under the knife a second time to have this corrected. But gastric bypass is extreme, and you are right. The nutrient deficiencies is horrible. The only thing that you can do, because what they do, if they have bypass where they're literally going by a good hunk of the intestinal tract, and so that way you don't get the absorption of the nutrients, and then this literally starves the person into being a thinner. What it really does, because when the food comes out of the stomach, it goes down the intestinal tract, and it starts off at a very, very low pH as it goes, and then the pancreas secretes this bicarb to raise the pH rapidly so it doesn't damage the intestinal tract, the food coming out. And then it raises its pH throughout, different nutrients are absorbed. And now bypassing that means you don't have the absorption. Juicing, blending, fermented foods, those are all going to be pre-digesting and help you get some of the nutrients in. IV nutrients, hugely important. And so you can get nutrients through intravenous. That'll help as well. And then look at your other stressors. Look at the 4 detox pathways. You've got respiration, perspiration, bowel movements, and urination. And now your bowel movements are going to be altered. Typically, they're going to be more watery stools because the food coming out is going to be more acidic. So look at respiration. Look at the things you can do to detox your body. And I know you're talking about getting the nutrients in. I'm with you. But look at the detox pathways as well, because these people, and I've got a lot of patients that have had the gastric bypass, we got to focus in on the sleep patterns, the emotional health, the chemical stressors of poor sleep patterns. So address all the things that you can address, and then do juicing, blending, and fermented foods that'll help pre-digest it, and then IV nutrients. God bless you, my friend. Question 4 from Just Keep Swimming. Can you discuss foods to eat and avoid with dealing with mold overgrowth? Oh, absolutely. We live in Florida and recently found a lot of mold in our house, which causes gut, skin, and neurologic symptoms. Me and my husband, even our dog. How much does avoiding IgA food sensitivities play a role in gut healing? Will occasionally eating a good, I'm sensitive to hinder healing. Oh, okay. Well, the thing with IgA foods, they're the main component of mucous membranes. So when you eat something, you get nasally or your mucous membranes swell up, and that's going to be a response to those type of foods. The best thing, because bacteria eat mold, so get fermented foods with every meal. Get prebiotics and probiotics. That's going to be amazingly good. Look at charcoal as one of the best supplements around there as well. Activated charcoal. Then also make sure you're getting a little bit of fiber with each meal so you can increase your bowel movements, and just a little bit of either psyllium husk or non-psyllium husk fiber in a small glass. Take it a little shot before each meal. That's going to be fantastic. It's going to increase gastric motility. But the prebiotics and probiotics will help the bacteria grow in the system, and getting fermented foods will help in the system. Avoid all the processed and packaged foods, because that will stimulate the IgA. I mean, like when you look at it, animal products can reduce the IgA or mucus sensitivity. If they're processed, commercially produced animal products, they can cause it. So, you go back to the diet of our great-great-grandparents, healthy, organic. If it's preserved, it's more than likely fermented. Look at healthy animals, healthy plants. Lots of fresh water. Also look at sleep patterns and bowel movements. So increase with the mold exposure, the 4 detoxing pathways: respiration, perspiration, luckily you're in Florida, bowel movements, and urination. So look at the detox pathways, because when your bacteria are eating up that mold, you got to sweat it out, poop it out, urinate it out, breathe it out. And so this is going to be, you'll thrive in this area. And look at the IgA foods. Those are mainly processed and packaged. So if you do have mucus sensitivity, also look at the physical stressors. If somebody has had a past neck trauma, the nerves that supply those mucous membranes, or a past pelvic issue, because that's the parasympathetic in the neck and in the pelvis area of the resting, digesting, and repairing. So there may be a tissue production issue as well. Question 5. From JField7516, can you talk about adaptive mushroom coffees and teas? I think this person was referring to adaptogens. See the next one. Okay, when you look at adaptogens, and this is really, really cool, and there's a lot of adaptogens, adaptogenic mushrooms. They're going to give the host what the host needs, or what the environment of that host says. Now, they can help regulate immune system and inflammatory responses. But interesting, they have antiviral, antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and medicinal mushrooms have been used for thousands of years. Look at reishi, cordyceps, coriolis, maitake, shiitake, tremella. I mean, there's so many out there that are just fantastic. And this is why, when you look back, let food be your medicine. If you look at food as your medicine, you're going to eat, because that food is going to become you. So instead of just grabbing something out of the 7-Eleven, you know, look at the stuff that is actually going to help your body metabolize and thrive. So when you're doing, when you're taking in or cooking at nighttime, utilizing mushrooms or garlic or onions or broccoli or kale, or I mean, all the different things that you can cook, look at the advantages that it has for your immune system. But adaptogens, mushrooms are out of this world. In fact, a lot of substances out there are going to have a different effect in different people, and that there's magic in food. It's so cool that we're here. I mean, you're literally designed for the world. The world was designed for you. Now, if your question wasn't answered here, please go to the Dr. B VIP site, drbvip.com, and please share these videos because we are we're one of those that has dangerous information. God bless you all. Stay healthy, my friends.